I'm seated on the sofa when I get a text message from a young woman. She and I used to go to the same church. She's heartbroken because this guy she dated at the church, they sang in the choir together. She trusted him and he took advantage of her. Now she's filled with guilt and shame. My grandma used to say, "Tell the truth, shame the devil." She asked me how should she handle the situation. She's already cried and prayed. So I told her the only remaining thing to do. Story is power. Story is hope, wisdom, entertainment. It's not just for children, you know. But we're afraid to tell our stories. Why? Because we're afraid of the truth and what other people will think about us if they knew the truth. You know, one of the reasons why I promote storytelling is because it really is cathartic. And but people they're not accustomed to hearing the full truth. They're accustomed to sanitizing their stories. And even as when I was doing the casting call for Celebration Dallas, there was a young woman, she's like in her mid-20s, and she had an awesome audition link. The first part of it anyway. She was talking about attending a purity conference. And in the purity conference, she, talked about at 15, she was so gung-ho and she was convinced that, she would save herself for marriage, and she was really excited about that. And then at 18, she went to college. And so I knew what was coming next, but unfortunately, what she started to do, even though she had been telling the truth this whole time, all of a sudden she goes into this rant about how she felt so horrible and like she had these dirty sheets and, she was, guilty and condemned. And she just kind of went through this whole space of, God, please, please forgive me. And I'm like, all right. She started off really strong, but, she lost her way anyway. So I gave her a call. And when I called her, I just said, I want to poke at your story a little bit. And so I said, so you felt guilty after you were having sex with this guy? And she was like, yes. I was like, well, how often did you have sex with him? She says, I don't know. Okay, well, how long were y'all together? She's like, 5 years. Okay, so in those 5 years, did you only have sex with him once? She's like, no. Well, how many times did y'all have sex? Well, we had sex a lot. It's like, well, did you feel guilty after every sexual encounter? And she said, well, kinda. Okay, so you felt guilty over the course of 5 years of engaging with this guy. Why did you keep having sex with him? Then she paused and she said, because I like being close to him. That is what truth-telling and real storytelling looks like. I get that you can feel guilty, but the reason that you kept doing it is because you do what so many of us, when we are in love, we want to feel that connection. And so part of that connection can be sexual. And so that's what it was for you. So when we got to the truth of that, her story ended up being really, really powerful. But she became a very clear example to me of how often we try to sanitize our stories instead of just telling the truth about where we've been.